everyone, happy Sunday. If you don't know me, I'm Robin, and I just wanted to share a little bit about me and my story. We've been talking this week about the importance of your story. That's really how people are going to connect with you. So it's really important to kind of have your story. I kind of have it in just kind of a bullet point list. It helps me when I'm trying to think of a post because, again, we talked about breadcrumbing, but let me just jump right in. So, like a lot of women, I really struggled to lose weight after the birth of my first child. I was depressed, I didn't have any energy, I craved junk foods, didn't like the way I looked, didn't feel good about the way I fit into my clothes, and I needed a change. So I went to Target and I bought a stair stepper and I bought videotapes and I started exercising. Kind of dates me back to those stair stepper days. But I started exercising, I cut calories, so I was really big into calorie counting, but I really didn't change my nutrition. I was just counting the number of calories that I was taking in each day. So actually my nutrition got worse. I was able to lose some weight to the point of where I felt good about how I looked on the outside, but I still didn't feel good on the inside. I still didn't have energy. I still craved junk food. Still didn't feel good. My digestion actually got worse because my gut health got worse because I wasn't taking in healthy foods. So if you know my long story, you know all about that. But it got to the point, like I said, where I was actually substituting junk food for healthy food. And it's kind of what I coined calorie substitution. So I would have a piece of cake for dinner. I thought as long as I stayed within a certain calorie range, I was good. Which is clearly not the case. So, like I said, on the outside, I wasn't overweight. I looked healthy, so you wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I felt horrible. Digestion was the worst. So, sorry if this is TMI, but I was going to the bathroom about once a week, and if you know anything about that, or if you've been through that, you know how awful that is. I struggled between constipation and horrible diarrhea, and I was absolutely miserable. Went to the doctors. They basically, ran tests, couldn't tell me what was wrong with me, and told me to eat more fiber, take a fiber supplement, and then they gave me expensive medication. The medication helped me get a little bit more regular. I wouldn't actually call it regular. I was going to the bathroom more, but I wasn't regular. Still struggled with that fluctuation. Still didn't feel good. Still didn't have energy, still doing my calorie substitution, didn't change my nutrition at all. The doctors didn't even mention anything other than eat more fiber. Not very helpful at all. About that time, I was introduced to Beachbody by Rob. He'll tell you his story on another day. And he had some really good success with P90X. So I thought, you know what, I want to give something else a try. So I started with TurboFire and Shailene Extreme, and I loved the workouts. She's still my favorite trainer, still love those workouts. And I actually started drinking Shakeology, but I was not consistent with it. I skipped days. I usually didn't drink it on the weekends. A lot of times I would have half a scoop because I wanted to save the money. And yet I was eating out almost every day, so that kind of tells you where my priorities were, especially money-wise. They were not with my health. And I honestly didn't really think there was anything wrong with it. I thought it was okay, again, as long as I was staying within that calorie range, I was good. But little by little, I started to gain weight, and I was feeling horrible again. Still had the cravings, still had no energy, and I couldn't figure it out. I was exercising every day, staying within that calorie range, and about that time, Rob and I were introduced to Insanity Max 30. That was when that first came out, end of 2014. We thought, we're going to do this together. I thought I'm going to, be consistent every day, even though I had been. For some reason, I thought, you know what, maybe this will be different. I was kind of deluding myself because I still didn't change my nutrition. I still didn't drink Shakeology consistently, and guess what? I didn't lose any weight, didn't feel any better. That was kind of a breaking point for me. I was so discouraged. And about that time, Rob and I were introduced to 21 Day Fix Extreme. And we decided to jump all in. We kind of were both at our wits' end. And when I say we jumped all in, we jumped all in. No sugar, no soda, no processed foods for 21 days. I thought 21 days, I can do this, right? It's not that hard. But it was. I'm not going to lie to you. It was really, really hard at first. You can imagine going from, counting your calories and eating junk food to not counting your calories and eating, just these fixed portion sizes of healthy foods. That was a huge, huge change for me. And I started drinking Shakeology consistently. Both Rob and I did. So even though I wasn't hungry, I was still craving junk food. And a lot of people, think when they start drinking Shakeology, they start eating healthy, their junk food cravings are just going to go away. That's not necessarily the case, especially when you have an emotional eating issue or disorder, which I have. I struggle with that. So even though I was not hungry, I was eating a lot of food, I was still kind of craving that emotional addiction to food, if you kind of want to. That's basically what it is, what I've struggled with. But what really helped me, this was the first time that I had joined an accountability group. And that was huge for me. I finally had the support and motivation I needed from so many different people who were on the same journey as I was. I was learning, I was growing. Obviously, I had Rob to support me as well, so that helped. But that accountability group was huge. And I actually, even within the first week, I started feeling better. I started seeing the pounds come off. I started seeing the inches come off. I was feeling better in my clothes. I was slowly getting more energy, slowly reducing the junk food craving. Like I said, the emotional eating is a whole nother animal. But the biggest thing was I was regular. I was starting to get regular, like clockwork regular. And that made all the difference in the world. That was my biggest accomplishment, if you want to call it that. I just felt so much better, and I didn't realize it at the time, but those prebiotics, the probiotics, the digestive enzymes, all the superfoods, they were healing my gut. And healing my gut was reducing the inflammation throughout my body, which was reducing the headaches and the pain. And I was feeling the best I had ever felt. And I wanted to pay it forward. Rob and I both did. We were on this journey together. And so, after the 21 days, we decided, what, we're going to do another round and then another round. And we jumped into coaching because we wanted to help other people. We wanted to share our story. We wanted to have more of those accountability groups and kind of inspire others, help others through the same things we had been through. So that was kind of our journey personally, and then the journey into coaching. So that's kind of like my story. And I wanted to share that with you because, a lot of you may be feeling some of the same things that I was going through. You may be feeling discouraged, and I know that I personally need to share my story more. I've done posts, but I need to share it in this type of way with more people because just putting this down on paper for this group specifically really helped me to gather my thoughts. So I really encourage you to also write your story out first and then bullet point it maybe. Practice saying it. I actually practiced in front of the camera. I'm still working on it. I still need to cut it down. It's kind of long. I'm not going to lie. And, you're realizing that. But, this is where it starts. And this isn't my whole story. This is a journey. Fitness is not a destination. So I have a lot more to say, and I'm going to continue breadcrumbing that in my posts, continue to tell my journey, and that's how people are going to connect with you and relate to you, and they're going to want to join you. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable and share yourself. Share yourself with the world. Share your positivity. Even if you're not all the way there, because we're never all the way there. Even if you think you look healthy on the outside, there is so much more to it than being overweight. So even if you think you don't have a story to tell, dig deep, because I know you do. So call to action, if you dare. Tell us a little about yourself. Do you have the courage to put a little video out there? It doesn't have to be live, but maybe just a little recording. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. I'm sure this is probably going on 10 minutes or more. But just tell us a little about yourself. Maybe just an introduction. You don't have to tell your whole story, but you know, that jump or that step into putting it on camera, it can feel overwhelming. And I realize that, we all realize that, but you're safe in this group. So I really encourage you to share yourself with us because we want to hear from you. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that yet, totally understand. Maybe just tell us a little about yourself in the comments. So everyone have a wonderful Sunday, and I will be talking to you more this week. Bye.